Hello Moto GP fans. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Marc Márquez left Assen with a sense of relief rather than triumph. The Dutch Grand Prix was chaotic, with multiple title contenders crashing or retiring, and Márquez's 7th place became more valuable in context than it looked on paper. He described the weekend as one to manage and survive, accepted a contentious clash with Fabio Di Giannantonio without complaint, and reiterated that his current physical state means measured rides are often the only option. For Márquez, Assen was less about glory and more about resilience. Francesco Bagnaia's first race as a father ended in frustration rather than celebration. The Ducati rider was forced to retire from the Dutch Grand Prix with a technical problem that left him unable to decelerate the GP26 reliably. He had been running as the best Ducati in the race and was on course for a strong finish before the issue forced him out on lap 15 of 26. Marco Bezzechi's Dutch Grand Prix ended almost immediately after a violent crash at turn 15, leaving him with severe neck pain and requiring transfer to the University Hospital of Groningen. Initial medical checks confirmed he was conscious with full limb mobility and no neurological complications, but doctors opted for further scans to rule out hidden injuries. The incident marks Bezzechi's 3rd consecutive Sunday zero, costing him the championship lead to Jorge Martin and raising questions about his momentum in the title fight. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Márquez's race unfolded as a careful balancing act. He initially moved into the podium group, taking advantage of battles between Trackhouse riders and Pedro Acosta, but quickly shifted into a conservative rhythm. His priority was to finish intact, especially after witnessing crashes from Marco Bezzechi and mechanical retirements from Pecco Bagnaia and Acosta. The Spaniard's 7th place followed a 6th in the sprint, continuing a run of consistent points even at circuits where Ducati struggles against Aprilia's superior cornering package. "I was riding smoothly, cleanly, to finish the race and leave Holland without any injuries." The defining flashpoint came in the final lap chicane, where Márquez and Di Giannantonio clashed. Márquez was forced into the gravel, evoking memories of his famous duel with Valentino Rossi at Assen in 2015. Though this time the roles were reversed. Race direction deemed it a racing incident, penalizing Di Giannantonio only for cutting the chicane. Márquez accepted the ruling without protest, saying he would keep quiet and race. Márquez's decision to run the soft rear tire was unconventional, as most of the grid opted for the medium. He explained that his physical condition prevents him from extracting maximum performance lap after lap, so the soft compound allowed him to exploit bursts of speed when needed. The trade-off was reduced durability, but Márquez judged it the best compromise for his body and style. He acknowledged Aprilia's dominance at Assen's fast corners and stressed Ducati must evaluate performance across the full 22-round calendar rather than panic over one venue. "I can't squeeze the tire to the max during every lap, so I fitted the option I thought I could exploit on individual laps." Assen's attrition reshaped the championship picture. Bezzechi's crash, Bagnaia's mechanical retirement, and Acosta's physical withdrawal meant Márquez lost points only to Jorge Martin and Di Giannantonio. He now trails Martin by 40 points, but framed his position as a gift rather than a target. Márquez admitted that some circuits will be survival tests, where finishing 8th or 10th is the realistic ceiling, while others will allow him to fight for wins. His mindset is pragmatic: maximize opportunities when conditions align, accept limitations when they don't. "If I'm in the fight for the championship, it's a present." Marc also highlighted his brother Alex's performance, praising him for finishing 4th despite ongoing physical issues. He described Alex as runner-up in the World Championship, and emphasized his consistency across circuits like Jerez and Montmello. The comments underscored Marc's respect for his siblings' resilience and added a personal dimension to his reflections on Assen. Márquez now heads to the Sachsenring, one of his strongest circuits historically, with renewed optimism. Ducati's immediate challenge is to refine its package for Aprilia-friendly tracks while managing Márquez's workload to protect his fitness. For Márquez, Assen was a reminder that resilience, tactical adaptation, and racecraft remain as vital as raw speed. The championship fight is still open, but his approach is clear: survive where necessary, strike where possible, and let consistency keep him in contention. Bagnaia had recovered well from a difficult sprint and a mixed weekend to place himself inside the leading group during the Grand Prix. He overtook teammate Marc Márquez and was running fourth when the problem emerged. The issue manifested as a loss of braking control. Bagnaia reported he was struggling to decelerate the bike and stop it, and ultimately decided retirement was the only safe option once the situation became unmanageable. He left Assen immediately to join his family in Italy after the birth of his first child. "I was struggling to decelerate the bike and stop it." Ducati has not yet provided a full technical explanation, saying engineers will analyze telemetry and data before commenting. The factory's initial message confirmed the rider's account of braking difficulty and framed the retirement as a precautionary decision made when the problem could not be controlled. Team personnel will now investigate whether the fault was hydraulic, electronic, or related to another subsystem, and whether it was an isolated incident or a symptom that needs urgent attention across the fleet. PA mid-race braking failure is treated with high priority. Teams typically run detailed post-race diagnostics and may bring components back to Borgo Panigale for bench testing. The weekend carried extra emotion for Bagnaia. His wife Demizia gave birth overnight, making Assen his first race as a father. He skipped post-race media to travel to Italy and be with his family, a decision Ducati respected. The combination of a major personal milestone and an abrupt technical retirement made the day especially poignant, a reminder that riders balance intense professional demands with life off the track. Teams often accommodate family events for riders. Bagnaia's priority was understandably his newborn and partner. The retirement cost Bagnaia valuable points and widened his deficit in the title fight. He now sits 63 points adrift of the leader. Given the season's length, the loss is significant but not decisive. However, the timing is awkward. Ducati is preparing for a major regulatory reset in 2027, and any unresolved reliability issue raises questions about short-term momentum and long-term development focus. For Bagnaia personally, the priority will be to finish the season strongly while ensuring the team resolves the technical cause quickly. Points lost at Assen increase pressure on both rider and factory to extract consistent results in the coming rounds. Ducati's engineers will analyze data to identify the root cause and determine whether any corrective action is needed before the next round. Bagnaia's immediate focus is family, recovery from the emotional and physical toll of the weekend, and returning to the track with clarity. For Ducati, the task is twofold: fix the technical issue and maintain competitive development as the championship progresses. If the problem proves isolated, Bagnaia should be able to resume his push for strong results. If not, Ducati must act swiftly to protect both rider safety and title ambitions. A weekend that began with personal joy ended with professional frustration. Ducati now has to turn that disappointment into a rapid technical response while Bagnaia celebrates a new chapter at home. On lap 2, Bezzechi lost the front of his RSGP at one of Assen's fastest corners, a section notorious for punishing even the smallest error. The bike folded beneath him, sending him tumbling through the gravel in a violent head-to-toe roll. Spectators watched in alarm as he came perilously close to the barriers before sliding to a halt. Marshals and medical staff rushed to the scene, quickly confirming he was conscious and responsive. Despite the reassurance, his visible discomfort and difficulty moving his neck prompted immediate caution. Initial medical examinations confirmed that the pilot is fully conscious and has normal mobility in all 4 limbs. Although early checks ruled out neurological or systemic complications, Bezzechi reported severe neck pain. Moto GP medical director Dr. Angel Chart and the circuit medical team decided not to take risks, arranging his transfer to Groningen's University Hospital for advanced imaging and specialist evaluation. Aprilia stressed that the move was precautionary, designed to ensure no hidden injuries were overlooked. Neck injuries can be deceptive, even when limb mobility is intact. Underlying damage to vertebrae or soft tissue can pose long-term risks if not properly diagnosed. The crash compounded Bezzechi's recent struggles, marking his third consecutive Sunday without points. Earlier in the season, he looked untouchable, stringing together dominant wins and building a sizable lead. But Assen's 0 means Jorge Martin, who finished third, now overtakes him in the standings by 7 points. For Bezzechi, the setback is not just numerical, it erodes the psychological cushion he once enjoyed and forces him to regroup quickly. Assen was a weekend of attrition across the grid. Bagnaia retired with braking issues, Pedro Acosta withdrew due to physical problems, and Bezzechi's crash removed another contender. Amid the chaos, Marc Márquez finished only 7th but emerged as a hidden winner, collecting points while rivals faltered. Aprilia's strength was evident in qualifying and early pace, but the team's championship hopes now hinge on Bezzechi's recovery and Martin's consistency. Beyond the physical toll, Bezzechi now faces a mental challenge. 3 consecutive Sunday DNFs can weigh heavily on a rider's confidence, especially when expectations are high and rivals are closing in. His ability to reset mentally, trust his equipment, and return to aggressive form will determine whether he can reclaim the lead. Aprilia's support structure, from medical staff to technical engineers, will be crucial in helping him bounce back. Bezzechi's immediate priority is medical clearance and recovery. Aprilia will await hospital results before confirming his status for upcoming rounds, but the team remains optimistic given the absence of neurological complications. For the championship, Assen has tightened the fight, Martin now leads, Márquez continues to close in, and Ducati riders remain in contention despite setbacks. Bezzechi's resilience will be tested. Bouncing back from 3 consecutive Sunday DNFs is as much about mental strength as physical recovery. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your Moto GP news update. And see you next time!